Hello, how you doing? A little while again since another video. It's been a busy month or so. I think it's been almost a month exactly since my last video. I figured it's about time I did something else, just so I don't fall out of the habit of just cleaning my glasses, excuse me. So I don't fall out of the habit of making semi-regular videos. But yeah, so yeah, I apologise for being away for a little while again. If you can hear a noise in the background, I've got a little fan going because it's boiling hot in here. But yeah, I apologise again if for being away for a little while. I say I've been really busy the last month or so. Obviously, I've had all the festivals which finished middle of August. So I've been back from the last one 2 weeks, I think, November early, and that's all out of the way and done with. So hopefully we'll be able to get back to a bit more of a regular routine. Yeah, I've had a real even since I've had a couple of busy weeks. We've had a few people off work, and so I've been doing a couple of extra long days to make up for stuff like that, and I've been ill and just all sorts of stuff been going on. But yeah, so yeah, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully this will be the start of me doing another little line of videos again, and I won't be taking too long off again for the near future. So yeah, not a great deal has happened. Obviously, one very obvious thing, I'm sure you noticed, is the bridge piercing's gone. Sorry, I'm using the front-facing camera. I wanted to make sure I could get myself all in shot. But yeah, the bridge piercing is gone. As I've had problems with it on and off for a while now, with the scar flaring up and shrinking down, flaring up and shrinking down, and and then just recently I bought myself some new glasses, just some cheap ones to wear at the festival, so I didn't have to worry about breaking them. And they're a slightly different design to the ones I used to have. These don't have the little gooey plastic or silicone pads, and as a result, the actual frame itself is what sits on the bridge of my nose, and that had actually been resting on the actual piercing itself. These are really greasy. They've been actually resting on the actual bridge of my nose and sitting on the piercing itself, and it had just aggravated it to a point where it was a lot worse than it had ever been before. So I figured I'd cut my losses and for temporarily retired it. It's not going to be gone forever, but I decided until I can get, I've got to work a little bit on reducing the scar tissue. Obviously it'll never go away completely. There'll always be a little scar there, but I mean it's only been out for about 3 or 4 days at the moment, so it still hasn't really settled down at all. And I'm gonna be rubbing lots of oil on it, just to help the tissue soften up a little bit, and just not to look quite so angry. And then further down the line, I will look into re-piercing it. I might even look into either piercing it at a larger gauge, or possibly even having it scalpeled to a slightly larger size initially, so I don't have to go through the awkwardness of stretching it, because it is an awkward one to stretch, which is probably why there aren't too many people that have them stretch anyway. It is an awkward one to stretch, so I might well jump straight in with a larger gauge to begin with, just to bypass all of that. But yeah, so yeah, that's obviously that's the only real big change that's happened. Because as far as things go at the moment, it's mostly just work and whatnot, and trying to sort out lots of things for the wedding. We've now got down to 5 months now, I think, before myself and Anna get married. So I've got lots of other things, non-mod things I have to be focusing on and getting sorted out right now. But yeah, so everything I think is still pretty much the same as it was in the last video. My ears are still 74.5. Technically, I haven't actually measured these to see exactly what they are, but that's what they're supposed to be. And yeah, as you can see, big gaps. And I will be, I'm planning on ordering something maybe in a week or two. Finally actually get them up a little bit bigger again. Start working my way back towards where they used to be. And actually, just before I started recording this, I was looking for my old jewellery. I couldn't figure out where lots of things I seem to have misplaced in the move, and that was one of the things I thought, oh, I'll just go double check the shed. There's some boxes in our shed, and yeah, I found a big box full of jewellery. So that's obviously where I misplaced it in over the last couple of months, shifting things around, trying to get stuff organised. But yeah, so I literally just found my big, this cleans up a bit, they've been dusty in the shed. My great big 99mm tunnels. As I say, I've never actually worn these yet. The biggest I ever got was 96, which obviously is still quite a bit bigger than this. But yeah, I'm glad I found these then. It gives me something to focus on, a little bit of inspiration and motivation to try and get back to where I was again. So I can literally put them around my wrist, that's so big. But yeah, so I will in the next couple of weeks, I'll look into actually ordering some new earrings, and I will probably go. So I won't go up massively. I don't know exactly how big I could actually fit in right now with this gap, but I'll probably order some 76mm pieces just to get them back up. At least they'll be back up to 3" then, and then so I've got to try and plan everything around saving for the wedding and whatnot. Weddings are expensive, as it turns out. Who knew? But so yeah, I'll probably stretch once more again around New Year's, and that'll be the last time I stretch before this whole wedding thing. But yeah, it'll be nice to get them back up to 3". So there'll be a little bit of oil on there. It'll be nice to get them back up to 3" before the wedding at least. And like I say, if I am able to stretch again around New Year's, the start of next year, that'll probably be up to about 78. So I'll be back on the plus side 3", which I'll be very happy with that. That'll be nice. So yeah, like I say, I still got a little way to go before I get back to this sort of size again. I can't believe how big they must have been. So I was literally 3mm smaller than this at their largest. It's kind of crazy, actually. So I can actually get that in frame. Hopefully, a few years down the line, I'll be back up and I'll be able to wear these at last. I'm just wondering if I got any of the 96s in this bag, in this box. Sorry. No, it doesn't look like I do. I'll see if I can find them and show them off at some point. The big tunnels, or plugs technically, that I had. I don't think they're up here. No. Anyway, so yeah, the labes are doing well, nice and thick and juicy. I haven't got any problems with them really going on whatsoever. I've got a little bit of a dry spot on the inside of this here, and that's been there for quite a while. I'm not really sure why that is, but it doesn't seem to be causing me any problems. It might just be from little spots of scar tissue and things from where I've had little tears and things in the past, but it doesn't seem to be giving me any issues at the moment, so that's one good thing. So don't worry too much about that. The conches are still 16mm, and they're both perfectly fine. No pain or discomfort or anything. A little bit awkward to twist them around so you can actually see them, but yeah, I'm thinking of, I will probably be stretching them again once the weather starts cooling down a bit, because obviously being cartilage piercings, and I'm sure I've mentioned this in videos before, they tend to swell up and get very, very uncomfortable. So now we're getting a little bit more towards the end of summer. Once the weather starts to cool down a little bit, get a little bit colder, especially because I'm outside a lot with work, that's the ideal time that I've found, for me at least. That seems to be the ideal time to stretch my conches, because being outside in the cool actually helps them settle down a little bit. That's something I've noticed over the last few years. Whenever I stretch them in the summer when the weather's boiling hot, they swell up a lot more in the heat than what they do during the winter. So I will look into getting some 17mm plugs, or maybe tunnels. Generally speaking, I go with plugs for my conches. It's not a specific reason for that. I just always end up buying plugs as opposed to tunnels. So maybe I'll get myself some tunnels made for them. But yeah, I'm kind of not looking forward to that, just because that always sucks. But that's alright. And yeah, obviously the other ones, I don't know how well you can see them. Oh, just about to see them there. Little pairs of tragus piercings. I really need to get on to stretching those. So I never planned on stretching them very big anyway. Maybe 4mm each, and just wear a pair of tiny tunnels in each side. But It's been so long since I stretched them, I can't actually remember how big they even are anymore. I think they're both, well, all four of them, sorry, are at 2 millimeters at the moment. It's rather tricky to see. If excuse my manky fingernails. It's rather tricky to see, but yeah, I'll have to, and I'll actually get some shorter jewellery for them as well. Because they're, I wasn't entirely sure how much they would swell up with the stretching. And so I bought extra long jewellery just to accommodate for that, just in case they swell up. And they barely swelled up at all. Isn't it? They barely swelled up at all, so that wasn't really anything I needed to worry about. So I'll be getting much shorter jewellery this time, which is handy because they'll, as they are at the moment, they tend to get caught and wrapped up in my beard and in my hair. So I will go for slightly smaller jewellery with them. But yeah, obviously the other one, so the bridge is gone for the time being, for temporarily. But yeah, the septum is still at 27 millimeters. I will definitely be trying to stretch it up 28 in the near future again. I say the thin spot that I had, it was, so I'm finding some point, so get my fingers out of the way. Whoops. Screw it, that'll do. Let's see if this works. The thin spot no, it's not going to work at all. That's a bit longer. The thin spot I had was literally just around the bottom here. You can't really see it very well. It was sort of slightly reddy purpley discoloured where the tissue was getting very thin, and I downsized as soon as I noticed that. I actually left it out completely for a week or so, then I put 27 back in, and I've been doing very intense daily oil rubs 2 or 3 times a day, just with the bio oil. Been doing that 2 or 3 times a day just to flush the area full of blood and make sure the tissue itself doesn't die off, and it has settled down a lot. It's never going to be perfect. It's one of those things that once the damage is done without actually being reconstructed by an artist or a medical person or something like that, it's never going to be 100% perfect. I'll see if, you have to bear with me 2 seconds. When I sort of twist the tissue a little bit and really twist it and pull it, you can see just about there, that little red spot there, that's the thin spot. And I don't particularly want that to split. Understand? I'm sure that's understandable. But I will. I'll definitely be going back up to 28. In fact, I have the jewellery here because it was in all my nose jewellery was in the box that I found in the shed, and I've literally just grabbed all these to have a look at them. There's the 3 bigger pieces. Obviously, I've got the 27 in there now, the 28, the 29, and the 30. Oh, sorry, I just got a message on WhatsApp. Anyway. Yep, so we've got the 27 in my nose, 28, the 29, and the 30 jewellery there. So it was at its largest 29. I haven't quite made it to the 30mm mark. Whether I ever will or not with this little issue or not, I don't know. But it is very, very loose. And actually, just before this video, I was messing about and I actually put the 28mm back in. But if you bear with me, I'll do it now on video just to show it does still fit. But it slips in so easily. It's a little bit awkward. It's quite tight getting the jewellery through the nostrils. There we go. Clean that up a bit. So yeah, that's what I've been wearing. That's the 27mm piece. And 28. You can barely see any real difference. See if that helps at all. No, you really can't see the difference at all. Anyway, I got the 27 and the 28mm piece. Interestingly, the 27mm piece has actually got quite a bit of a thicker wearable area than the other 3 pieces. I say quite a bit, it's probably literally half a millimetre. The other 3 are pretty much all uniform, pretty much all perfectly the same. But the 27mm piece I wear is actually slightly wider. So, oddly enough, that actually makes the 28mm piece easier to get into my nostrils, because obviously I have to go in sideways. There's no way I'm going to shove it in like that. So yeah, I have to go in sideways. And even just that fractional tiny, it must literally be about a half a millimetre difference. I don't think you can even tell on the video. Can't see over my hands, I can't see the screen. But yeah, so yeah, I will, bear with me 2 seconds. I'll actually just pop that back in, just to show it fits. I might even put it in and leave it in now. A little bit of oil. Just swallow a load of moustache, lovely. You just oil up the jewellery. There we go. And literally pop straight back in. No problem whatsoever. Like I say, it was bigger than this at one point anyway. Just straight up a bit. So it was actually bigger than this at one point anyway. It was 29. I still like the idea of trying to get it back up to as big as it was. I mean, more or less straight. I think so. There's a weird brown mark on my nose. I'm not quite sure what that is. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be bothering the red bit down the bottom here at all, which is good. But when I did pop it back in earlier, I had a proper little look in the mirror just to see if it was causing any issues. It doesn't appear to be. Mind you, I'll leave it in. I think I will leave it in for a little while just to see. Whoops, is it? Just to see what happens. And fingers crossed, at the very least, I'll keep it at 28, even if I don't go all the way back up to 29 and 30. It'd be a shame if I never do, because that was a goal I'd given myself for a long time, and to get so close and to never actually get there would kind of be sad. But at the same time, I'm sure if I actually got to 30, I would then want to go even bigger still. So maybe having an actual final point now maybe isn't necessarily a bad thing. It'll stop me ending up with a nose that's so big that it hangs down over my mouth or something. Yeah. Right, anyway, it's enough picking my nose. So yeah, the only other thing worth mentioning is it's actually Friday today, and obviously I'd normally be on work, but I had yesterday off for more wedding stuff, and today, originally, I was actually supposed to be going and getting tattooed again, to get some more work on the black done, on the black arms, but that's been put back by about 2 weeks, I think. If I remember rightly, it's been put back to something like the 26th or the 28th of September, so it's only a couple of weeks to wait. It's not the end of the world. And yeah, literally all I'll be doing is getting some more black filled in on the forearms, because the plan with all the black, so to continue on, is just to do the full arms in black eventually. But Anna, she doesn't like me having half and half on my forearms, and she's asked if I could try and get the forearms themselves finished off before the wedding, just so in the wedding photographs, sorry, I've got oil up my nose to keep sliding out, just so in any wedding photographs and stuff like that, they'll just be completely black, because she doesn't particularly like the look of half and half, which is, you know, it's fair enough. So yeah, that'll be the plan in a couple of weeks' time. So I think it was Saturday the 28th, if that sounds about right, something like that. So yeah, maybe I'll well, I will post a video after they're done, definitely. Maybe I'll post a little video if I can, if Sam's cool with me recording something. Maybe I'll post a little 3-minute video just of stuff being done. But yeah, so that's basically everything for the time being, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I will make at least one video a week for the next few weeks. Got a couple of other little things I will probably discuss at some point. But yeah, I'll keep you all in the loop as I finally get back on track, starting to stretch everything again, and hopefully my nose will be okay at this side for a while. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see just how much the scar will fade if I put a little bit of effort into it. I say, obviously it'll never go away completely, I wouldn't expect it to, but it should. The tissue, obviously the scar tissue itself is quite a bit thicker than the regular healthy tissue surrounding it. It should, with a little time and effort, that should soften up a bit, and the discoloration should fade to a slightly more natural colour as well. But yeah, that will take time and patience, and then fingers crossed further down the line I will get it re-pierced again anyway. So yeah, I'll put my glasses back on. These are so greasy, I don't know what's happened to these. Yeah, they're covered in grease. Everything suddenly goes very foggy and cloudy when I put them on. Anyway, speak to you all again soon. It's coming up for 20 minutes, so I will say goodbye and I will get this uploaded, and I will try not to leave it so long before I make another video. Ciao for now. Bye.